Champions call. I love the roll call. I had a chance to even hear my own wife was on the call. So I'm extra shy and nervous today, but grateful to have some time and your attention today. But question, is network marketing a pyramid scheme? Have you ever had that objection from a prospect before? Have you ever thought about that before yourself? Well, today I'm going to lay to rest the answer to that question, but more importantly, how to actually field this in your network marketing business professionally, confidently, where you're going to walk out and not just not be afraid of if you get that or not, but you're going to actually want it to come because you cannot wait to navigate it. You cannot wait to go through it because it is a fun one when you know what to do, but it's probably one of the scariest objections and questions to deal with if you don't know what to do. So if you're excited about that, stay tuned and we're going to navigate this real quick. So let's start with a story. When I got first introduced to network marketing, 2009, I was a broke college student at UC Berkeley and I thought I knew it all. I knew I was going to be a medical doctor. I was very smart academically. So when I got brought and introduced to the concept of network marketing, I heard of the connotations. I heard of pyramid scheme kind of out there. I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was something bad, unethical, something I didn't want to do. And guess what? I got dragged out to my very first network marketing meeting and my first personal introduction to the space. And you know what I said right away? I'm like, this is a pyramid scheme. I was one of those people. In fact, I was to this day, 16 years later, I've talked to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of prospects. To this day, I haven't met anyone more skeptical than me. And it wasn't until I overcame that myself and then I learned ways to actually overcome it with other people that got me so much conviction and belief. Where to this day now, I believe not only is network marketing not a pyramid scheme, I actually believe network marketing is the most ethical, professional, beautiful, smart business model in the world. And no one can talk me out of it. So let's walk into this and let's get into conviction. So let's first address the actual question, is network marketing a pyramid scheme? You know what my answer actually will be? It depends. it, depends. It depends how you run it. So let's define first. By the way, I'm going to pull heavily. There's a great resource by Tim Sales called Brilliant Compensation. When I learned this and I saw that, that's actually what got me the logic behind what network marketing is, the education. You cannot refute an objection if you don't know what the truth is. So, refuting a good objection is not about feelings, it's not about confidence, it's about truth. So, Brilliant Compensation nowadays, you can actually just search it on YouTube. I'd highly encourage to watch that. It's around 20, 30 minutes. That's been used in court systems to defend network marketing. So it's powerful. So get that logic from there. So we have to first define what is a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is illegal. A pyramid scheme is something where people either trade money to each other and no goods and services are being sold. So, for example, a Ponzi scheme, a type of a pyramid scheme, is something where someone says, hey, you find five friends to get you $5,000 and I will pay you $10,000. And then those five friends to get $5,000 and you can pay them $10,000. So you're literally just exchanging money and no legitimate goods or services are being sold. That's what a pyramid scheme is. So here's the question to ask in anything, not just network marketing, but in anything. Are people buying the product or service for the value of the product or the service or the product itself? Would they buy it without any financial incentive? If they would, that's called a business. If they wouldn't, red flag. If someone's only buying something because they could potentially make money, they don't care about the product. For example, maybe it's a sham product too. I have a pen in my hand. Here's another example of pyramid scheme. This pen literally costs, I don't know, $1. But if I tell you, hey, this pen is $1,000, because if you sell five of these, you can make $5,000 yourself. If I'm only selling based on what you can make and you actually don't care about what the product or service is, you have to be very careful about that type of a proposition, because every single business only can survive when there is a valuable product or service being delivered to an end consumer with no financial incentive tied to it. Does that make sense, guys? So when I say it depends, that's why it depends, because you might have a valuable product or service, but the way you position it, and if you don't talk about the value of product at all and you only talk about money and trade of money, and the product is just a vehicle for that, then you have to be careful, because even the way you communicate how to sell something can be pyramid like activity. So, what's the way to make sure you safeguard yourself in your business? And network marketing gets flack on this. Why? Because in network marketing, you do have the ability to build sales teams that can build sales teams to distribute a product or a service. And it is in the shape of a pyramid, as any organization is. Your church is a pyramid, your company is a pyramid, your job is a pyramid, your family is a pyramid. It's just a structure, right? In network marketing, you build organizations. So there is an organizational structure to that. Network marketing gets a flack. Why? Because it does offer a financial opportunity and it is in the masses. And the truth is this: when you have something in the masses and people are improperly trained and they improperly represent something, that's when negativity can catch flack. Case in point, used car salespeople. Who's ever heard of the used car salesperson connotation, right? They say, oh, they're sleaze bags. Is that true? I've had many great, I love my used car salespeople. Why did that get a connotation? Because there's a few that represented it wrong. And unfortunately, that's a connotation. If that makes sense, I hope that clicks. So we have to first know what a pyramid is when you deal with the objection. So I'm going to assume you're good in network marketing. I'm going to assume you have a great company. I'm going to assume you love your product and service. I'm going to assume it's legitimate. I'm going to assume that people would buy it based on the value of the product itself, and they're going to be good. For me, I sell these body balancing drops. I use them. I lost 25 pounds in 40 days. I buy them all the time. People buy them all the time. I know I have a value of good. Network marketing now is simply a distribution model of that. Just like e-commerce is a distribution model, just like going to retail stores is a distribution model, network marketing is just a distribution model. Okay, we have that out of the way. So that is the assumption here. So that's why let's go back to handling the objection. Is network marketing a pyramid? If you were to ask me and how I build my business and what I build my business on, 1,000% with all conviction, with no doubt. By the way, this is upheld in the court of law. Amway, and also most recently, Nerium was brought to the court of law, and they were tried and accused of being a pyramid scheme. And guess what? Herbalife too. The state of the courts said it's not. So pyramid scheme, if you say something's illegal, that is a legal term. If legally it is not, then it's not. Okay. If you were to ask me once again, so how do you refute? Is network marketing a pyramid scheme? So I would ask you that. Assuming those foundational things are all true for you, you too should say 1,000%. My simple answer is 100%. This is not a pyramid scheme. Those are illegal. Did you get that? That's the first part. It's not a pyramid. It's not legal. You cannot waver on this. It's like if I said, are you a male or a female? Can you imagine you asked me that? I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm not sure. No, you know your gender. Just like if I get asked the question of, is this a pyramid? I know the truth. No, you cannot say it depends. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. No, it has to be conviction. Okay. So that's the first layer. But let's unpack this even more as well, too, because it's not as simple as that. Well, here's the question I asked for you. When people say, is this a pyramid? What are they actually saying? Well, there's a couple layers to it. Let me give you a couple categories of the types of objections that you have. Some, very rarely now, because of internet, because of social media, because of awareness, this category is very few. In fact, I probably meet with this once a quarter now. It used to be every day. Now it's once a quarter because network marketing is a very known business model. It's very out there. A lot of influencers, they're in network marketing, they built like it's just out there. However, every now and then you will get that one negator that's very unaware and uneducated. When they ask the objection, is this a pyramid? They actually in their mind are thinking, is this an illegal pyramid scheme? Are you trying to scam me? That's rare, but that is one way that someone could actually ask that question. When they say, is this a pyramid? They might be thinking that. So there's one category, scam territory. Okay. By the way, if you do things in a scammy way, that might be why people are actually asking you that question. So be legitimate, do things ethically, do things as a champion. Okay. There's one. More than likely, though, that's actually not what they're actually asking. You have to know what objection you're dealing with. The second category is the person that is somewhat aware. They've been exposed to network marketing. Their cousin did it, they've seen it online. Maybe they dabbled in it. And because they're not that aware or they're not that educated, they might say, is this a pyramid? And when they say, is this a pyramid? It's not to say, they're not saying in their mind, this is a scam. They're because they don't know network marketing enough, just like if you don't know different Asian people, right? I'm Chinese. I get called Korean, I get called Japanese all the time. So it's not that they have a bad intention. They say, are you Korean? No, I'm Chinese. It's just because they might not be educated enough in the Asian ethnicities. So they have no ill intent. They just say, I'm Korean, which is fine, right? Nothing against me. There's no offense. So there's that other category. The second category is the person that's aware of network marketing to a certain degree, but they don't know it well enough to distinguish the difference of the term pyramid and network marketing. So they will actually just say network marketing is a pyramid. It's just that's the word they use to describe it. So that's the second category. Is this a pyramid? So no negative thing. It's just it is a pyramid. Okay. That's the second part. The third part, if you get this question, some will say, is this network marketing? They won't say, is it a pyramid? Is it network marketing? If someone says, is this network marketing? That usually suggests to you they absolutely know it's not a pyramid scheme, like an illegal thing. That probably shows you that they're more aware, and then they might have some more experience with it. So when I get the question, is this a pyramid scheme? First, 100% it's not a pyramid. It's a legitimate business. Here's my next question. Can I ask, have you had experience with a business like that before? Did you get that down? Is this a pyramid? No. But have you had experience with a business like that before? You have to go another layer deeper because you have to know who you're dealing with. Are you dealing with the person that thinks it's a scam? Are you dealing with the person that has some awareness of it? Or are you dealing with somebody that has more experience? Okay. If it's somebody that thinks it's a scam, don't try to fight them. You know what I would do? I would just link them to Brilliant Compensation. Oh, that's one of those things where only the people on the top make all the money and they all get rich and they're scamming everyone else. I'm like, that's interesting. Well, it's been held in the court of law. Hey, I'm not here to convince you. There's a video I saw that changed everything for me. And are you open to hearing that? Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they're using it as a cop out and they just don't want to. Don't fight them. Don't chase the birds. Okay. But let's go in the second category. The second category is more likely, which is they're aware, but they don't know exactly what network marketing is. So I'm asking the question, no, it's not a pyramid. It's network marketing. But have you had experience with that before? Here's the key now. Now you get to see what they actually mean. Typically, this is what's going to happen. They will say, you know what? I've heard about it before. Or, you know what? I've tried a couple of those before. And, it didn't exactly work. That's probably what they're going to say. I didn't get what I wanted from it. Ah, now let's go deeper. I want to know the story. So I will ask them, if you don't mind me asking, what happened? What were your challenges? And they're going to give you their story. and give me an infinite amount of things. You know what? I tried the product, and the product they changed the formulation. That sucked. Okay. Well, I was in the company went out of business. Okay. You know what? I tried doing that. It was hard to get it was hard to make a sale. Okay. Okay. I got involved in that, and it was hard to get other people to do what I was doing. Okay. Well, I got into that, and I didn't want to feel like I was spamming people. I didn't want to sell my friends and family. Okay. You're going to open up this can of worms, and here's the secret. You ready for this? How do you deal with this? How do you overcome it? The answer to all of them, but you got to hear the story and relate to them. Really listen. And when they're done talking, here's what I know is assuming they have a good company, the only answer to why someone did not have what they wanted as an expected outcome is a lack of support. Guys, if you know this X factor, this is how I'm able to recruit people no matter their experience level. Because I know, just like the gym, does the gym, like the physical gym, does the gym only work for some people, not for others? Does the gym scan you at the door and be like, you know what, Bob, you're just not a gym person, so you're not going to get buff here. Jill, you got the jeans here, you're going to get fit here. No. The gym works for anybody that puts in the work. You eat a certain way, you sleep a certain way, you work out a certain way, you're going to get results. Can network marketing work for everybody, assuming a good company, assuming a valid system, assuming a valid product? Yes. If you work a certain way, if you do it a certain way, if you keep consistent a certain way. Success in anything is never by luck. Success, especially in network marketing, is by design. That being said, most people don't know the what to do. Just like if you have somebody that goes to the gym all the time, they might have put in effort. We all can think of that person that goes to the gym all the time. They're sweating on the same treadmill, and yet they physically look the same year after year after year. Obviously, they're putting in the work, but they are not doing things a certain way. Does this make sense? This is huge. You have to understand this. Business results are not given just because of effort. Business, you get paid based on your productivity and value put into the marketplace. So there's skills involved, for example. There's ways to prospect, there's ways to follow up, there's ways to present, there's ways to market, there's ways to duplicate, there's ways to promote. It's a success system. There's ways to think, there's ways to feel. Most people, the reason why they do not get the results that they want in a network marketing business is not because of a lack of effort. It's because of a lack of support properly. It's a lack of training. It's a lack of detail. I know this, and I know most people are missing that. Because network marketing, you can get started with anyone in the world, with any company in the world. Most of the time, unfortunately, people land in a place where they might not have the best support. If you do, by the way, thank God, count your blessings, be super grateful because it's rare. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you understand that you have support then. So, what I'm going to do to handle is this a pyramid objection? Number one, no, it's not going to hear your experience. Have you had experience with that before? Then I listen to their experience. Oh man, I'm so sorry you went through that. And then I'm going to ask the question, if you don't mind me asking, do you feel if you had the proper training and support that you could do well in it? Well, I guess I could. Boom. Well, let me tell you about what we do. I'm going to assume you have good training, support, good leadership, good systems, all of that. So from there, you can have that extra edge. You see, here's what I know in the world. Everyone wants to do better. Everyone wants to make more money. Everyone wants to feel better. Everybody wants a better standard of living. They're willing to put in the work typically. If you're talking to them and they're still talking with you, that means they have interest in changing their life. What they're looking for is guidance. What they're looking for is help. What they're looking for is leadership. What they're looking for is support. What they're looking for is you. And when you understand that you are your X factor in especially your network marketing business, this was my X factor. Here's a mantra I have. You can take it as well. This is what has helped us become great recruiters over the course of time and leading one of the top sales organizations in our company and in the world. This is what I know. I am willing to do above and beyond what anyone else is willing to do for anybody that I'm in contact with. I am willing to solve the problem. I am willing to do the due diligence. I am willing to help them. I am willing to do everything in my capacity to love and support my people in their journey of success. If you work with me, you will not get anywhere better. Now, that may or may not be true, but that is my mantra. And when you feel that way and you commit to yourself and your fellow human being that way, and you really make it about serving someone else, that's all people are looking for. When people say, is this a pyramid? Translation, they're really saying, I've had a bad experience. I don't know if I can trust it or you. Why should I trust you? So if you understand that that's what it is, and then you're able to break it down and break it through, and at the end, you're like, I'm different. You know what you're going to say? I knew I started doing this right when I would get this type of feedback from the prospect. They would say, I never thought about it that way. You know, this sounds different. You seem different because I am, because you are. And be sure to deliver on that promise. If you're able to go through that, not only will you overcome that objection easily and confidently, you'll be able to partner with the most amazing people. But I also believe that we're gonna raise the professionalism of this entire profession as a whole. Because I don't know of any better business model in the world where you can build legacy, impact, and choice. There's nothing else for a fraction of the cost for what we can do to transform people. So let's be better. Let's be champions. I hope this helped you to overcome the is this a pyramid objection. If you do get the is this a network marketing objection, that might take some more due diligence. It means they probably have more experience and deeper experiences. They might have had some leadership experiences. That's when ask more questions, see what it is. But then at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. Are you giving the proper support? Okay. Hope that helps and hope that this frees you. With that said, catch this plus any other replay on bocpodcast.com. If it was helpful, share this out there and take this, try it, I hope, and I can't wait for you to have fun with this. All right. On that, back to you. God bless.